This is your writer, Anthony L. Kelly, right here. Check it out. These are my books. Mac, Jaja, book, Sunshine. And this is my first book published, Saving Miss Caroline. And this is my latest, El Manic. Go check this book out, man. This is a nod at hip-hop on its 50th anniversary. This is a nod to one of the illest MCs to ever do it, Nasir Jones. This is me shedding the light on mental illness. I'll leave all the links in the description box. Salute to everybody who's ever supported me, man. Y'all go support your boy, Anthony L. Kelly. Check till next time. I'm out.
Alright, so the brother Young Jock uploaded a video earlier of himself literally crying. I'm going to read what he said and then I'll give you my opinion. He put, raw emotions, no hiding behind facades. Can I cry in front of the world? Why am I crying? The world is such a wicked place. At times our kids are dying before they can live in these streets. Our homes are filled with hate because all around us destruction is prevalent. Drugs are running rapid in our community. So many are confused. Ascension is necessary. Let's get it all out in front of the world. Do you ever feel like you're just letting it all out? Some will laugh, and that's expected. Some will tap in to see if I'm okay, and that's appreciated. I'm begging for mercy on all of us, and no soul unaccounted for. I love you. Now, the first thing people are going to say, and you see these comments, right? Let's just get the negative stuff out of the way, right? Is any man, you have to question the authenticity of any man who presses play, then begins to cry. And I can agree to that to a certain extent. And this, but I'm going to be human, right? And I'm always human, but I'm going to, be sympathetic because, I told my girl, like, did you see the Young Jock video? She like, nah, like, well, he's crying. The first thing she says, oh, a man should be, how come a man can't express his emotions? The next thing I said, well, nothing wrong with that, but turning the camera on to do it. That was the first thing I said. I'm be honest with you now. That was before I actually read his caption. And I'm reading his caption, and his caption is real. He could be having, one of those moments, and everything he said is 100% correct as far as, the things going on in the world, but, are we going to cry about it? Or are we actually going to put boots to ground, feet on the ground, and try to change it in our own circumference? I'm not saying that you got to be a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King and reach hundreds of thousands of people, but what can you do with your money? What can you do with your influence to try to, help anything that you talked about? You talked about, destruction, drugs in the community, homes are filled with hate, things like that you talked about. The next question will be, all right, how are you going to contribute? And that's something that we should all ask ourselves. All right, how am I going to contribute to these kids being out in the street with no guidance? Am I going to go, maybe, start a nonprofit organization? Maybe I might go, work at an after-school program. Maybe I might, go coach, something. Maybe I might go talk to teens on the weekend. Maybe I might go donate money to this. So it's things that everybody could do, to try to aid and abet or counteract what the system is doing. We all know what the system is, right? We all know, right? But the question is, what can you do? Because if you got a million people crying, that ain't going to change nothing. A million people begging and pleading and praying and begging, that ain't going to change nothing. But if you got a million people saying, all right, yeah, I cried, that's the first step to it. I pleaded, I did all that, I voted, I marched. All right, but now I'm actually do something now. I got a million people putting foot to pavement, doing whatever they can do. I'm not expecting everybody, to be the community activists like that and, reaching 100 kids. But what can you do in your area? I think he's in the Atlanta area. What can be started down there? What type of money, or sometimes it's not even money. Sometimes it's just your time. Jock at the schools talking to the youngsters about this. Jock giving resources to this. And I'm not saying that he's not doing that. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just making an example out of it. So I'm not clowning him for crying on the camera. I would never do that. You know what I mean? I'm not clowning him. You know what I mean? But it's just like, all right, obviously it was done for attention, right? Obviously, you wanted people to see this, right? And it worked. You got the attention. So what are you going to do with the attention? Did you just want the attention for a day? Few hours? Or did you want the attention to say, all right, this is what I'm getting ready to do now? You know what I mean? And that's all we can, say about the situation, man. And, I don't know. Now, if you're on the camera and you rocking out and you begin to cry, that's one thing. But it's like, who knows what situation he was in. Maybe he was crying and he said, you know what, all right, fuck it, I need to get this on the camera. Boom. Or maybe he said, all right, I'm going to press play. I'm going to start crying. I'm going to get my message. Who knows? Who knows what happened in the situation? All I'm doing is taking his message and I'm running with his message. And I'm saying, all right, you got the power. The ball's in your court as well. You obviously, have some resources. You obviously have some influence. How is that going to be used? And if you will come to me and ask me, I'll say, okay, this is what I'm trying to do, what I can do in my area. What are you trying to do across the street over there? Oh, I'm doing this in my area. I know a lot of people doing a lot of things, and that's what it's going to take. Any people that has been downtrodden, any people that have been at the so-called bottom, they all had to proverbially not just pick themselves up from their bootstraps, but they had to proverbially come together and literally actually come together and begin to work to plow the pavement. If you want a fruit, if you want a harvest, you can't just sit and pray about it. You can't just cry and ask the rain to bring you something. Nah, you got to, till the soil, turn the soil over. You got to put the plant in. You got to fertilize it. You got to water it. You got to make sure it gets adequate sunlight. You got to protect it. You got to protect it from the deer. Protect it from different things that may come, and want to destroy your plant, your fruit, your harvest. And then you got to let it sprout. And then once it sprouts, you got to let it bloom. And then once it blooms, right, you have to wait for the exact right time to reap your harvest. But if you follow all those steps, you will reap your harvest. That sounds like a prayer. Hallelujah. Leave an offering in the offering plate for your brother. Why don't y'all? But nah, man, it's your brother Oh God, man. Hip Hop News Uncensored. I appreciate the message. I appreciate Young Jock, putting that out there. Like I said, my question will be to Jock is, what you gonna do? What are we gonna do? Maybe he's already doing something. If you are, excuse me. I feel corrected. Hey, this video is brought to you by hiphopun.com as well as my brother Anthony L. Kelly. Go to the top line of the description box and go get your new copy of his book honoring the legend, one of the greatest, if not the greatest hip-hop artists of all time, Nasir Jones. That link is at the top line of the description box. If you want to go a little further in that description box, our website, hiphopun.com. Get this in your mind, hiphopun.com. Get this in your mind, hiphopun.com is our official website. Man, we got entertainment, sports, history, anything on that website. 10, 20 articles going up per day, sometimes 30. We could never cover that amount of content on this channel alone. Maybe one day. So make sure you go over there and get your daily fix. It's hiphop, the letter UN.com. You ain't got to type it in because I got the link in the description box. Also, I need you to do your brother, a solid and go follow us on all the other social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. On the way out, leave a comment. But before you get to your comment, if you didn't already leave it, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Peace.